While we remain standing, I invite Mr. Jean-Baptiste Havugimana to lead us in prayer.
Thank you. Let us humble ourselves and pray. Almighty Lord, as we are gathered here today, we want to thank you for your mercies, the blessings and milestones achieved over the past 25 years. We humbly seek your guidance and blessings in this high-level side event. Lord, keep granting our leadership wisdom and foresight as they reinforce this journey of regional cooperation and integration and commemorating 25-year journey of hard work and unity. May this commitment strengthen the bonds of cooperation and collaboration among the nations of the East African community, fostering peace, prosperity, development, and mutual understanding. In the name of the Almighty Lord we pray, amen.
Excellencies, distinguished dignitaries, we may take our seats. Your Excellency, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and our host, Your Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, Prosper Bazombaza, Deputy President of the Republic of Burundi, representing His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, Honorable Ministers and Cabinet Secretaries, heads of ESC organs, heads of regional economic communities, Excellencies, ambassadors, high commissioners, and members of the diplomatic corps, former Secretary Generals and Deputies present, permanent Principal Under-Secretaries, esteemed heads, representatives of development partners, private sector leaders, invited dignitaries, distinguished ESC colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to welcome you, Your Excellencies, to this session to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the East African Community. Your Excellencies, this morning we convened to discuss a number of issues pertaining to the journey of the East African Community. Your Excellencies, I will now invite Honorable Secretary General Veronica Nduva to present the outcomes from the session of this morning and to also lead an interactive session with their Excellencies thereafter. Honorable Secretary General, you're welcome.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary General. Your Excellency, Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania and our host this afternoon. Your Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency, Prosper Bazombaza, Deputy President of the Republic of Burundi, representing His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye. Honorable Ministers and Cabinet Secretaries, heads of ESC organs, heads of regional economic communities, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and gratitude that I welcome you all to the afternoon session of the summit's high-level side event, commemorating the 25th anniversary of the East African Community under the theme ESC at 25, a reflective journey and future aspirations. Your Excellencies, today we gather in Arusha not only to celebrate our past achievements and milestones in the community's integration journey, but to also chart a path forward to peaceful coexistence and embrace innovation and digital transformation as pivotal enablers of our regional economic integration. As we reflect on the remarkable journey of the ESC since 1999, the community has made significant strides in fostering trade, enhancing sustainable development, and ensuring peace and security across partner states. The implementation of pillars of the community, that is, the customs union, the common market, and ongoing efforts towards a monetary union and eventually a political federation, are testaments towards our commitment to deepening our integration for the mutual benefit of the citizens of the East African community. Your Excellencies, allow me, with your permission, to highlight just a few milestones that have been realized under each pillar. Under Customs Union, the implementation of the Customs Union Protocol and other legal instruments has spanned industrial development. We have seen improved trade efficiency, increased numbers in trade, fostering economic growth, and solidifying the East African community as an integrated, vibrant economic region. Under the common market, we are progressing towards our goal of accelerated economic growth and development, underpinned by notable achievements. Allow me, Your Excellency, to highlight the mutual recognition agreements for professionals, the use of an electronic ESC passport as a common travel document, removal of visa requirements for the ESC citizens from one partner state to another, and the issuance of gratis passes. Under the monetary union, we have made progressive steps towards macroeconomic convergence for the East African Monetary Union. Partner states are working towards the establishment of key institutional frameworks, including the East African Monetary Institute and the East African Statistics Bureau. Political federation. The community's journey towards a political federation is underway, utilizing a political confederation as a transitional model. Consultations on drafting the constitutions for political confederation are continuing, and deliberate strategies for deepening political cooperation among partner states continue to be deliberated upon. Your Excellencies, this high-level side event focuses on three thematic areas. 1, promoting trade. 2, digital transformation. And 3, peace and security. It is imperative for the region to leverage emerging technologies to enhance trade efficiencies, promote financial inclusion, and foster innovations. The East African payment systems and various e-government platforms have already begun to revolutionize how we conduct business and interact with our citizens. Today's discussions will focus on how innovative solutions can further harness digital tools to overcome existing challenges. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as I conclude, allow me to highlight the outcomes of the high-level side event that was conducted this morning. The high-level side event was conducted through plenary session with a keynote address and panel discussions on the ESC's 25-year journey, followed by 3 breakaway sessions. The high-level side event reflected on the achievements made by the community over the last 25 years, marked by the expansion of ESC membership from the original 3 partner states to a family of 8. The high-level side event emphasized the need for partner states to strengthen collaborative efforts and political will at all levels in addressing man-made obstacles, including non-tariff barriers to trade, non-conforming measures, airspace restrictions, travel restrictions hindering integration, and regional unity and work towards a borderless East African community. Urged partner states to incentivize local production to reduce on imported goods into the region. Number 3, urged the East African Community Secretariat to develop a regional mechanism to fast-track the review of the relevant laws and regulations to ensure the effective implementation of the EAC protocols. Number 4, requested the Council to consider the revision of the East African Monetary Union roadmap to provide for a single currency along the national currencies. Number 5, urged the partner states to establish an independent inspectorate to enhance compliance and implementation of the summit and council decisions and directives. Number 6, underscored the need to facilitate the development of inclusive payment solutions that can deliver accessible and affordable services to the underserved populations. Number 7, requested the Council to review the institutional framework for the East African community staff engagement to safeguard institutional sustainability. Underscored the need to develop regional digital integration policies and strategies to support key sectors including infrastructure, trade, health, education, and youth initiatives. Number 9, recommended the institutionalization of women participation at the level of 30% in all sectoral decision-making levels. Underscored the need for partner states to optimize the extension of connectivity to the Interpol 124/7 network to immigration and custom entities to enhance the existing digital platforms for a comprehensive approach in dealing with all transboundary security challenges. And finally, highlighted the need for EAC leadership and partner states' ownership of mediation processes through institutional and financial investment in the region. It is now my singular honor, Excellencies, and privilege to submit the outcomes of the high-level side event to commemorate the East African Community's 25th anniversary to the summit for consideration. Your Excellencies, I submit. I thank you. Asanteni sana.
Your Excellencies, we will now proceed to the next session where we will hear words of wisdom from our Excellencies with respect to pertinent issues that will consolidate the gains that the East African Community region has made, while also discussing key issues that are pertinent as presented by the Honorable Secretary General. I now invite Honorable Secretary General to lead us through the next interactive session.
Thank you once more. Allow me, with your permission, Excellencies, to lead us to this session of heads of state that we have been looking forward to the whole afternoon and indeed the whole year. Allow me, with your permission, our host, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, to engage you. You have been on record talking a lot about the environment, clean energy, and also involving the youth. So I will ask the first question. Your Excellency, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, with the increasing impact of climate change on communities worldwide, could you share insights on how the United Republic of Tanzania has approached clean cooking and other environmental preservation interventions to reduce carbon emissions and improve health outcomes? What key lessons can other partner states draw from Tanzania's experience in these areas, Your Excellency?
Thank you so much. Dear audience, heads of state and the audience, first of all, let me apologize that I'm going to use Swahili because we are in Tanzania. And I hope you do have the translating gadgets. Please use them. Nakushukuru.
I thank you, Secretary General. But first of all,
ni wapongeze Secretariat kwa kufanya side event hii hapa kujadili safari yetu ya miaka 25 ya kuundwa upya kwa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, lakini pia nipongeze na nitoe asante kubwa kwa wazee wetu akiwemo mzee wetu Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, lakini Daniel Arap Moi, Benjamin William Mkapa kwa uamuzi wao wa kuanza tena jumuiya hii baada ya kuvunjika huko nyuma, na leo tuna miaka 25. So kwa upande wa swala lako mambo ya climate na matumizi ya clean energy kwa ajili ya kupikia, niseme tu kwamba mabadiliko ya tabia nchi ni wimbo ambao dunia nzima tunauimba, ingawa utekelezaji wake una juu na chini, kwingine unatekelezwa, kwingine hivyo hivyo, lakini kwa sisi nchi maskini utekelezaji wake mdogo zaidi, kwa sababu kwanza si waharibifu, lakini wanaoharibu hawataki kusaidia tutengeneze. Sasa nikirudi tena kwenye swala lako, niseme tu kwamba masuala haya ya mabadiliko ya tabia nchi yana gharama kubwa kwenye nchi zetu. Kwa mfano Tanzania sisi tunatumia 4 mpaka 5 ya GDP yetu kwenye masuala ya kupambana au ya pato la taifa kwenye masuala ya kupambana na uharibifu wa mazingira na mabadiliko ya tabia nchi. Sasa niseme kwa mfano tukiangalia tu swala la upotevu wa misitu kwa Tanzania, kila mwaka tunapoteza karibu ekari 400,000 acres each year. Deforestation zinapotea kwa watu kukata kwa ajili ya kupikia, lakini pia kwa matumizi mengine. Lakini kazi kubwa wanayofanya ni kuchoma mkaa kwa ajili ya kupikia, lakini kuni pia kwa ajili ya kupikia. Kwa kutokana na hayo, Tanzania tumejiengage kwenye njia nyingi za kufanya marekebisho. Kwanza tumekuja na sera ya kupanda miti, na tukazitaka wilaya zetu, kila wilaya ipande miti 1,500,000 kwa mwaka, 1,500,000 per year kila wilaya. Tumefanya kwa muda mrefu, lakini lazima nikiri kwamba sasa hivi spidi ya upandaji ile ya kila wilaya imepungua, ingawa bado tunaendelea kupanda miti. Lakini jingine ni kwamba ili tuwe na nishati safi na tukimbie matumizi ya nishati safi kama inavyozungumzwa na vikao vya mataifa, mashirika kimataifa, UN huko tukienda tunakubaliana kuachana na nishati safi, tunazungumza energy transition, lakini tunapozungumza energy transition tunazungumza at macro level. Sijui matumizi ya viwanda na mambo mengine maeneo haya makubwa yanayoonekana. Lakini tunapozungumza energy transition hatuendi kuangalia kule chini kwa wanawake. Mabadiliko na environment, uchafuzi wa mazingira au matumizi ya energy chafu yanawadhuru wanawake kiasi gani? Sasa kuna debate mbili hapa, energy safi, energy chafu, lakini lazima tutambue kwamba hii inayoitwa energy chafu ndio iliyowafanya wenzetu walioendelea kufika hapa walipo. Wameitumia kote mpaka wamefika hapa walipo. Sasa wanasema acha hii ni energy chafu, twende na energy nyingine, ambayo hiyo energy nyingine inataka fedha na gharama kuitengeneza. Sasa kwa sisi Tanzania tunafanyaje kuachana na energy chafu? Kwanza tumeangalia masuala ya upatikanaji wa umeme. tumechukua jitihada ya kusambaza umeme nchi nzima. Nchi yetu ina vijiji karibu 12,300 na almost vijiji vyote vimepata umeme. Kazi tunayofanya sasa ni distribution, kwa sababu umeme kuingia kwenye kijiji haina maana kila mtu amepata. Kwa sasa ni connection distribution ya umeme wenyewe, ili watu na hasa wanawake watumie umeme ule kwa kupikia, nishati safi ya kupikia. Lakini mbali na wanawake, vijana nao wanautumia umeme ule ambao ni nishati safi inayotokana na maji, inayotokana na sola. Wanatumia umeme ule kujiajiri. Sasa hivi wimbi la vijana kutoka vijijini kuja mjini limepungua, kwa sababu kule walipo wanapata yote ambayo mjini yanapatikana. Umeme ni kupata taarifa, umeme ni kila kitu walichokuwa kikifuata mjini wanakipata kule waliko sasa hivi. Kwa hiyo kwanza ni kusambaza umeme, lakini umeme wenyewe sasa tunautoa kwenye nishati inayokubalika. Kwanza tuna umeme wa gesi, ingawa mataifa yanapiga kelele kwamba hata hiyo gesi nayo tuache, lakini bado nadhani hata na wenyewe mataifa yaliyoendelea bado yanatumia.
You gave me a gift, and that gift was a newspaper headline from 1963, June 1963, to be precise, Your Excellency. We are honored and indeed blessed to have you here as one of our founders, 1999. And as we celebrate the East African Community's 25th anniversary, what does this milestone signify to you personally and to the East African community? With the vision,
connectedness in a trade of these areas, how do we know? Do I have? There are earthworks, trenches in the Zimbabwe district of Uganda, known as Bigobya Mjenyi. There were ancient earthworks like fortifications. In Uganda they are called Bigobya Mjenyi. Those earthworks were built by the dynasty of the Batrezi, that had united a big chunk of that area for a number of centuries. There was a trade area. Mark you, Your Excellencies, I'm not using the words free trade area. I will come that also. FTA also. FTA. This was not an FTA, it was not a free trade area, but an FTA, it was not a free trade area, but it was a connected trade area. This is because it was not yet a free trade area. It was not an FTA. This is because some of the greedy chiefs along the trade routes were extorting what they were calling hongo. I knew hongo to be like bribery, but when I read the literature, it seems as if they were talking about customs, about taxes. When I say hongo, you can, of course, here I'm being guided by Huntington Speak. and Stanley, they are the ones who wrote about this. So I don't know, they were using the word hongo. Hongo meaning like tax or... Toma, back cloth. From Bunyoro, we would get Omonyo, rock salt. Our ignorant chiefs kept that underutilization of our opportunities for all that time until the Europeans came and captured them. Because this area was connected trade-wise, but our chiefs never used it to consolidate it, so the Europeans came and captured the area. Now the Europeans first came to the East African coast in the persons of Vasco da Gama in 1498. Then they disconnected our connected trade area when they colonized the region and fragmented it among the English, Kenya and Uganda, the Germans, Tanganyika, Rwanda and Burundi, Belgians, Congo, the British and the Egyptians, South Sudan. So when these foreigners came, because of our internal weaknesses, now what was a CTA became a DTA, a disconnected trade area. Thereafter, our CTA, connected trade area, became a DTA, disconnected trade area. This was the fault of the chiefs. This definitely was the fault of our chiefs. Vasco da Gama came here in 1498. That is when the first white man came to the East African coast, signaling a possible new danger to us. That's how they were called Wazungu. Because I think they were asked, what are you looking for? Tunazunguka.
Let's just say they are going around. They were going around.
Now, Vasco da Gama came here in 1498. The Berlin Congress that partitioned Africa into colonies took place in 1884-85. This is a whole 386 years of our wonderful chiefs watching the danger coming and doing nothing about it. This is just the history. It is therefore most commendable that our leaders, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, and Dr. Obote, as soon as we got out of the nightmare of colonialism, took the bold step of the decision to form the Political Federation of East Africa on the 3rd of June, 1963, which is what my daughter, the Secretary General, was talking about. I have already given Her Excellency that picture, and I've also given to His Excellency Ruto. I've given all the presidents, even President Kagame, I gave him the picture, that picture of the 3rd of June, 1963. But now I have some copies I want to give to Secretary General again, and to Yara, and to Secretariat. I don't know whether they are the same secretaries. And then to the East African Council, Trade Council. Are there traders here? Okay, bring my pictures. I have already given those pictures to their excellencies, the presidents. Unfortunately, some actors let us down and did not follow up that decision of forming the political federation in 1963. Picture zangu nyinyi waheshimiwa. I am glad Tanganyika and Zanzibar moved ahead and formed Tanzania, that has played a very unique role in the liberation of Southern Africa, as well as the fight against Idi Amin in Uganda. Because remember, muungano wa Tanganyika na Zanzibar was 1964. That was after Mwalimu and Mzee Karume noticed the hesitation by Obote and Kenyatta. That's how Mwalimu and Sheikh Abedi Karume said, wacha tuende mbele sisi. Because in the 1963 meeting, Zanzibaris were not yet independent. I don't think Zanzibar was independent by 1963. Even Kenya was not yet independent, but they were coming to independence. I think Zanzibar got independence in 64.
Revolution is 64.
And
independence was
63.
63.
63.
Independence.
Oh, okay.
When we didn't want that independence, we did revolution.
Oh, okay. So when Mr. Obote and Mzee Kenyatta hesitated, Tanganyika and Zanzibar went ahead and formed the United Republic of Tanzania. As I said in Soroti the other day, we were in Soroti on another occasion, if that decision had been implemented, the one of 1963, there would have been no problem of Idi Amin in Uganda. Possibly the problems of Rwanda and Burundi could have been solved earlier and with less loss of blood, of life. The Federation of East Africa would have found it easier to deal with the problems of South Sudan and Somalia. We need to remind ourselves that when we had a connected trade area in this area, there was no country called United States of America. When we had the connected trade area here, when I could trade from coast to Uganda, there was no United States of America. What do we say about these ancient societies of ours sitting around for the last 600 years and watching foreigners taking slaves from Africa, building strength until they were strong enough to either to enter the interior of Africa and colonize it? What do we say? Anyway, when we had opportunity to play a role, we did the necessary. Working with Mzee Arap Moi and Ndugu Ben Mkapa, we restored the EAC. It has moved forward. However, there are still obstacles that stunt the growth of these economies. Take the issue of banning products or unlicensing them so that they do not enter the other member states. You hear people saying that country X has a bumper crop this year and will therefore not allow products from the other countries to enter that market. What then happens is that producers of that product migrate to other enterprises and forget about the unlicensed product. 2 years down the road, you hear that there is a shortage in the same country X, and they want to buy the product. By that time, the product is no longer being produced in the country that was blocked. Even if Uganda is producing a lot of maize, for instance, we have never banned maize products from other East African countries. if we are producing maize, if we have a bumper crop, let other maize also come, and the Ugandans buy whatever is cheaper or better. Instead of saying, this year come, next year don't come, then what happens? I leave that business and do something else if there is no sufficient market. We have a lot of milk products. However, we have never banned milk products from other countries. The Ugandans, some of the Ugandans there, wanted me to ban Tanzanian rice. That mpunga wa Tanzania unaua walimaji wa mpunga wa Uganda. I said, if they are dying, they are dying easily. So if they are dying, let them die and we'll get more fit rice growers from Tanzania. I could not agree because, you see, there are 4 mistakes there. Number one, I am forcing Ugandans to buy more expensive rice of the inefficient Ugandan rice growers. That's mistake number one. Number two, I am undermining the Tanzanian rice grower because if he's efficient, we should all encourage him so that he grows. But if we deny him the market by administrative means, then we are undermining him. Number three, I am also kulemaza. Kulemaza is our local word meaning to cripple my own rice growers. Because if you give them this artificial protection, they will never be efficient. Let them be efficient and compete with the Tanzanians. Why do you protect the inefficient? But number four, then if I ban Tanzanian rice, Tanzania italipiza kisasi, ban also something from me. Come on, I can't be part of that historical mistake. So I said, no, if you can't compete with rice, you leave rice and do rice in chakula ya Wahindi na Wachina na watu wengine. Lima muhogo, which you can do better. I'm glad that Mzee Moi and Mzee Mkapa worked with me to reconnect the markets of this area. Besides, we went beyond the mere re-establishment of the CTA, Connected Trading Area, and we created what is supposed to be a free trade area that also aims at political integration by creating the Federation of East Africa. I salute our brothers of Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, DRC, South Sudan, and Somalia for joining the EAC and therefore reconnecting the old CTA. You remember we had a CTA 1,000 years ago, Connected Trade Area, which had been disconnected by the Belgians and the Germans and all those people who came in because of our weaknesses. So now, the former CTA is now fully assembled. But it's now more than a CTA, it is now an FTA, a free trade area. We have gone up. Let us now consolidate and move forward together. We, the Pan-Africanists, insist on the economic integration of the whole continent of Africa and in some cases, the political integration of some parts of Africa, such as East Africa, because of the 3 historic missions we distilled from the beginning. These are prosperity for African people through creating an integrated market that is large enough to buy sustainably goods and services produced or provided by the African wealth creators and workers. You see, when we talk of integration, it's not an emotional thing. It's not that I want to be with the Kenyans, I want to be with the Tanzanians, I'm dying to be with this one. No. You need it for your wealth creators. If your wealth creators produce a good or a service, who will buy that good and service sustainably and on a big scale? The good thing is that Africans are asleep. Kulala naye ni vizuri. Because when you are asleep, you don't know where the danger is. A snake can enter your house and kill you, and you will die peacefully because you don't know. But when you wake up and you, like the Ugandans used to be very tribalistic. Tribalism, religion, Catholics, Protestants, Muslims. Now, when we have been fighting with them, they are woken up a bit now. So they produce a lot of milk. The internal market is not enough. The maize, the internal market is not enough. So if the Africans wake up, then they will be able to see the blindness. If the internal market of Uganda is not enough, if the internal market, I can see Tanzanians are now beginning to sell things into Uganda, beans and so on. So now the question is, where do they sell these products? Because there are examples in the world, like the United States and Latin America. Latin America has got more mali asili, more natural resources. Mito, misitu, madini. Latin America is very rich. I think it could be richer than the United States in terms of natural resources. But you see the poverty in Latin America. What is the problem? Wako na mali asili ya ajabu, lakini ni maskini ajabu. What is the problem? Because of the way they are organized. You cannot succeed to do business in many of the Latin American countries. I think one of the reasons, that's why I heard that you had high-level experts and so on. These high-level experts could tell us, why is it that Latin America is in misery and the United States is very prosperous? Could it be because of the connected market of America, of the USA? The fact that the founders of the USA created a big space for wealth creators. If I produce a good or a service, I have got enough buyers to buy it, and I can expand and produce more. Could it be that? Let's get an answer from the experts. So, reason number one why we support Pan-Africanism is that it will solve the problem of prosperity for our people by creating a big market for them where they can sell what they produce without limit. Now, the second one is that strategic security, to guard us against all threats from wherever. You hear that the Americans have gone to the moon. The Chinese have gone to the moon. The Russians have gone to the moon. Recently, the Indians went to the moon. The Africans are here. and they are not bothered. So, are we going to be like the chiefs? Because you remember the chiefs. You remember the chiefs. When Vasco da Gama came and past years, anazunguka. And they couldn't see the danger and wake up and unite us. So people are going to do, what are they going to do at the moon? Sisi tuko hapa tu. Wako huko juu wanatuangalia kama vidudu vile vinakula sukari. This is very dangerous. I'm glad you invited me. So I tell you, because you are the ones who invited me. So, integration is about the 2 points. Prosperity for our people. Where will this prosperity come from? Ustawi wa jamii unatokana na omba, begging. Because if that, you hold it, you are strong. This is the one I'm giving you. This is Mwalimu Obote, Mzee Kenyatta na wengine. federation this year. This was 1963. So one is for you again. The other one is for Iyala. The other one is for somebody else. You take them. So the strategic security is very dangerous. When you hear people going to the moon and we are here, Uganda is developing. Uganda will become, even Tanzania has joined Kenya joined the middle income status some time ago. Tanzania has joined. We also have joined, although they have not declared us. We are waiting for the headmaster to declare, I don't know. But we are developing. But even if we develop, even if Uganda becomes a first world country, can we afford to go to the moon? Can we afford? Why hasn't UK gone to the moon? They are here with us. UK, France, wote wako hapa na sisi. Wahindi wamekwenda kwenye mwezi, wamekuja, lakini the other fellows are here with us. So there is something about size. You need size to be able to do certain things. And in order to achieve this, so the first, why we insist on Pan-Africanism, number one, prosperity for our people. But number two, strategic security, to be able to guard ourselves against all these adventurers. And using the undugu that God gave us, we are lucky. All these people we are talking about are either similar or the same. And in the case of East Africa, we have got even Swahili, which is a common language. The other day, I gave a speech briefly elaborating on each of these in Soroti, not to mention the many other documents in which I have discussed these issues. My speech in Soroti is annexed to this short statement. They will type it. What I want to highlight on this occasion is the question: why should this ancient connected trade area of more than 1,000 years of similar or linked people be lagging behind countries that do not even exist when this CTA was 1,600 years old? Because by the time the Karam was to integrate family, both economically and even politically. I thank everybody.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those words of wisdom. You are indeed a walking encyclopedia of history, and we really thank you for your wisdom. We take away your key words to Pan-Africanism, that is prosperity, strategic security, and brotherhood. We take away your emphasis on wake up, consolidate, move forward, and unite. We are celebrating 1,025 years of a connected trade area. Your Excellency, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, you have the luck of coming after one of our founding fathers, and the Federal Republic of Somalia is the youngest partner state to have joined the East African community. Reflecting on this journey, what is integration's promise for Somalia?
The technicians, the engineers, technologists are mainly from the East African countries in our country. So also Somalia has been given an opportunity by the East African community, our elder brothers and sisters, the opportunity to yes, so that we can play.
That a group of professionals I think then led by Amos Wako, who is in our midst, the Attorney General of Kenya Emeritus, who is right here, to begin the journey to think about how we can harness this East African community from where we were, the journey towards a customs union, moving into a common market that we are working on, and all our ministers today are working in concert to make sure that we consolidate this market, moving into a monetary union. Now we are working on into a political confederation, on our way to a political federation. I must commend Burundi, Uganda, and Kenya, who have already undertaken public consultations on the confederation, and also to commend Rwanda, Tanzania, and South Sudan for having already set dates for political. What Mzee Museveni has said, from the Nairobi, been joined in the Luanda process, and we are in support of a process rather than running two parallel processes. 64 nafikiri ikaanza ikakuja Zanzibar ikaungana na Tanganyika. Sasa mbona ilikwama hapo?
Of the Republic of Burundi, who gave me the honor to present him in this summit due to his very busy calendar. And would like also
and your parting shot.
30 manake ni nini? Manake ni ukuaji, growth ya sekta ya kilimo. Lakini si tu mashiwa na wenyewe wameingia, timia wote tayari auction.
Our growth in trade and what do we need to address, and the Republic of Burundi helped us think through that. We do not give up, because when we have young people in our home, we have a full family, and we have had from the newest partner state to the EAC community, what are the opportunities, what is the best way to chart a way forward, meaning that we continue to grow.